Hello and welcome to monologue video clip number 2. This time I wanted to talk about some verbal miscommunication that I had with some coworkers when I first came to Japan that led to some rather interesting conversations, but which also inspired some tongue twisters that I decided to make up for the lessons. So, here we are. The first one was with a now former coworker whose name is Mommy. I was telling her that I am a fan of anime, and she kept thinking I was saying enemy. Apparently the word anime isn't used as frequently in Japan, even though in the US we use it to refer to Japanese animation. So, kind of ironic, but there you go. So that similarity of the words anime and enemy, in combination with a little help from onelook.com, which is the best dictionary resource on the internet, in my opinion, and I'm writing my own dictionary, so I know. Anyway, those combined helped me form this tongue twister. In anime, animals, enemies, engram, enmeshed in Memnon's mnemonic calumny. The next incident occurred when another coworker of mine, whose name is Yoko, I was telling her about my trip to Poland, not this past summer, but the one before. During that trip, the international friends, classmates that I had, we spent one night in Prague. And while we were there, we went to a hookah bar. Now, when I told Yoko that I went to a hookah bar, she looked very confused and a little concerned. Come to realize, as we continue talking about this, that she thought I meant hooker bar. So, yeah, initially that was kind of confusing for me anyway, just because I thought hookers were supposed to be on street corners. What do they need a bar for, you know? But so I explained to her that no, I was not in an establishment for buying sex. I was at an establishment with a water pipe and a dance floor. And it was lots of fun. And anyway, so here's the tongue twister from that. A hooker's hookah could hook an onlooker. Next, we have a tongue twister of 2 words which describe especially early on, some of the classes that I teach for the younger kids. We teach from age 3 all the way up through, the highest reaches of adulthood. I think our oldest student is in her 80s or something. But the younger students can be, some of them are wild. And some of them just don't want to listen to the teacher, especially me, in the classroom and want to do their own thing. Yet at the same time, we're expected to do a very professional, very perfect sort of lesson each time. So the 2 words which describe the situation are painstaking pandemonium. Next, we can go back a little ways in my life to about a year ago or so. I was working at Office Max, and I would notice that people coming through the checkout line would say, "Thank you much," instead of "Thank you very much." And originally, "Thank you much" was something I had started saying on my own and thought I was being all, like, cute and clever, and apparently I wasn't. It's fairly common and sort of a minor linguistic phenomenon. So, oh well. Anyway, I was telling this to some of my friends, and one of them responded to me in a statement with a string of words which had the word very embedded within them. And I responded to him in like fashion, and his name's Johnny. He's awesome. And it was just lots of fun. So when deciding to create some of these tongue twisters for my lessons, I went back to that conversation and came up with verily silvery livery, which is a great one to use, and I have used it in classes already because of that LR sound being so frequent. the LR distinction is very difficult for the Japanese because the Japanese language doesn't differentiate between those two sounds. They have one that's kind of between them. So that one's been helpful. And then finally we have two somewhat longer tongue twisters that I just think are fun. This one has sort of a more regular rhythm and kind of makes somewhat logical sense, but I still wouldn't consider it like a real poem or anything. Just, I don't know, it's something. So here you go. Mr. Keister kissed her wrist westerly yesterday, yet today she's amiss of his chivalrous bliss, for he's fresh lighted off to Bombay. And finally we have the finale tongue twister, which is the only one I've made up so far that is long enough and difficult enough that it gets its own title, which is Triple Tricky Quickie Mick. So, enjoy. Triple tricky quickie mickle tickle taffy tackle and a pickle, but if sickle sick a sickle onto kitty's tacky dickies, attacking mickle still try pulling thistle thicket antics, so inkers licking fingers think right quickly forking kicks. Yay! Alright, and I posted that and the ones above to DeviantArt a while back, and one of the other people who go to DeviantArt responded back by saying that when he read Triple Tricky Quickie Mick, his tongue died. But it was happy when it did. And really, what more can I hope to achieve in life than to bring happy death to a random passerby on the internet via tongue twister? My purpose in life has been fulfilled, I tell you. Alright, well, I just want to finish with a quotation because I've decided whenever I do these sort of monologue style clips, I want to do a quotation of what I deem worthy note of some sort. So, this is it for tonight, and talk to you later. Wanting to reform the world without discovering one's true self is like trying to cover the world with leather to avoid the pain of walking on stones and thorns. It is much simpler to wear shoes. Ramana Maharshi. Good night.